GEDC members. Thank you for inviting Team 2 to the GEDC 2021 New Technology Pitch Competition. We're going to suggest to you some new technology that you could invest in as a panel of judges. Imagine, if you will, that you are on a team that is global, that needs to collaborate and make a project come to fruition. And imagine, oh wait, you don't have to imagine this. We've all been doing it for the past 2 days. What we are suggesting is a new tool that can help maximize access to and quality of virtual collaboration that's project focused. Now, let's take a second and talk about why we would do this. Well, sometimes we cannot meet in person, as we are all experiencing now, but also aspirationally, sometimes we want to increase the reach of our universities. We want to make the university more able to get to new and different projects that may be global, or that may be with students that we haven't had access to before. Also, why would we want a technology tool that helps maximize the impact of this? Well, because we think that this is new enough that best practices for virtual collaboration have not been ingrained in our universities. And so having a tool that can suggest best practices would be helpful. And then why else? This can also help generate reports for us to show the impact of our university on the world. So how would we impact quantity? Well, we can have the tool check for infrastructure quality for the participating members of the virtual team. It can figure out if your internet's stable enough. It can figure out if it isn't, that you can go to a place that it may know about through geocaching, and it can suggest a place for you to go. We want it to be able to be used on different platforms. So it could have built-in flexible throughput for being on a mobile device or being on a laptop. And we also want to lower the barrier to entry. So this can be single project focused. You simply go, open the tool, you put your email in, and it doesn't care who you were before or who you are now. For that project, this will be an easy thing to get started with. We also want to improve the quality of interactions, or help give suggestions. So the tool could suggest timing of collaborative meetings based on the time zone and schedule access that it has of your team members. It could also make it easy to integrate workflow tools like the tools that we have been using, including the whiteboard tool like Miro and other timing tools. It could suggest best practices for things like background lighting and distraction, which you can see I've got a distracting background behind me. It could say, hey, don't do that, or we can suggest a place that will have better lighting and better backgrounds. It can also suggest best practices to remove distractions, like don't do this while you're in a car, don't do this while you have the family at home, and I'm going to suggest that you go to a new place. Now, we also might want to improve the quality so that the tool could suggest timing for project steps. So it could suggest combinations of asynchronous and synchronous steps that can happen out of order, so that you maximize your virtual collaboration time appropriately. It can also suggest project equipment that you might need. So it could have a spot where you put in your project, and then it will say, you're going to need an Arduino for this, you're going to need an oscilloscope, and these things exist in other places. It could also increase the area of experts and resources that you get. So it could suggest that through like a LinkedIn crawler or a university database, people who are experts nearby at different companies, or equipment that may be available. It can also improve the trust within the group by suggesting if it can, figure out where you are, a group meeting point so you could meet in person. That is something that can be very helpful for virtual collaborations. And it could suggest things that you can do if you can't do that as well to build trust within your teams. And it could suggest best practices for group interaction and for team interaction in virtual environments. So we suggest that you invest in virtual project-based courseware.